Should the Eagles be concerned?
They should be concerned. And the reason why should be concerned is because they're looking in the mirror and saying we need to look in the mirror more.
Yeah.
They're acknowledging themselves that they're not what they're supposed to be. I watched them against Minnesota yesterday. They weren't impressive. We talked about Carson Wentz, and we want to remind everybody that he was an MVP candidate before he goes down near the tail end of the season last year. He's going to come back this year, and even though Nick Foles was holding it down until he returned, all was going to be well once Carson Wentz returned. You have no identity, a definitive running back to rely upon. Your receivers, no one definitive receiver to rely upon. I like Zach Ertz at your tight end spot. Their defense, it doesn't break, but it bends too much. And the reality is they're not striking the fear in anybody's hearts that they were doing as the season waned last year. What you're seeing is a situation where you're the reigning defending Super Bowl champion and everybody wants you. The Eagles are premier when they are hunting. As the hunter, as the ones being hunted now, they got a problem.
You think there's a Super Bowl hangover there?
Well, you could call it a Super Bowl hangover. I think that sometimes when you're the hunter, it's one of those situations where, again, you get to creep up on people and overwhelm them. When they know you're coming because you're the Super Bowl champion and you're on your heels as a defender, somebody, so ultimately you could be had from a boxing analogy as you would like to use sometimes. You know what? A lot goes right when you're the one doing the hitting. The second somebody pops you back in the face, how do you respond?
Well,
I think the Eagles are having that problem right now.
I predicted a Super Bowl hangover. I thought that's one of the reasons early in the season they should be concerned. But here's the thing. We will have a much different feeling after tonight's game. If Washington is 3-1, then and they look like the real deal. They go to New Orleans and win there. Then we're going to say, oh, wait a minute. But let's say they lose, and I think they will. The Eagles will be a half game off the pace. Then the question becomes, who has the most talent on the team? That's the Eagles. They are Super Bowl champions for a reason. Wentz just got back.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to take a couple games for him to get going. I will say this, by the way. My takeaway from the game is the Eagles have the level of concern I felt they should have around this time of year. I still think they're going to win the division. Remember I said Kirk Cousins had to win that game? He had to win, not just play well, but win. He did. And now, fairly or unfairly, we can actually start evaluating his play without saying, yeah, but all he does is lose. Boy, Kirk Cousins has been excellent this whole season. He's really been quite good.
I think the thing with the Eagles is that last year we were so accustomed to seeing them being such a balanced team, especially throughout the season as it went on. And then now they just have no running game. They have no balance. They can't run the football. Jay Ajayi had 30 yards last game. And that's just not the way they're going to win. That's just not the way they're going to win ball games. That's not the way that their team is shaped to win. They're balanced. They have to run the football, play action pass, and Carson Wentz has those abilities.
Right now, the things that we're saying about the Eagles last season, we're saying about the Rams now.
Exactly.
To your point about Jay Ajayi, he spoke out and he basically said, I don't understand the ground game approach. He doesn't understand why they're running the ball like that with this kind of offensive line and how talented it is. So he spoke out about the same thing that you hit the nail on the head, the no balance and the frustration.
They got to figure that out. That's the only way that team is designed to win ball games is running the ball effectively and then using the play action pass to go over the top of the defense.
You think Wentz is himself yet?
I don't think so. I think it's going to take a couple more games for him to
once he
really
is himself, what about then?
Then they can get it going. Then if that running game is still there and they can figure out creative ways to get rushing yards, they can be a good team.